fuck are you doing here? Oh, leave us alone! Why won't you leave us alone?
We Happy Few has crafted a story worthy of its eerie and drug-induced madcap setting. The stories told of its misfit characters are bleak, witty, tense, and ready to shine a light on their flaws. And yet, like the devilish grinning mask the populace has donned in conformity, you can't help but notice what's just below the surface. Reliance on copy-pasted rows of uninteresting buildings and lifeless townsfolk sometimes makes traversing We Happy Few's randomized world a chore. Yet, its collection of handcrafted encounters across 3 engaging stories with unique characters are where this world truly comes alive, even if you aren't on drugs.
Oh, yes, sir. That's my favourite protocol. I am full of the fury of the Lord, and I am right weary with holding back.
We Happy Few introduces an alternate history of post-World War II with an interesting twist that provides the framework for some very compelling stories. Its 3 individual tales of those who have renounced their daily dose of memory-muddling joy are unique and refreshing. When you don't conform in We Happy Few society, things tend to get violent, fast. Acting out in public can lead to some harrowing escapes at first, but eventually start to get a little too repetitive. In order to survive, you'll need to learn how to blend in while also scrounging for supplies. I never found the act boring, as I was always looking for that next ingredient to craft a better weapon or piece of clothing. Survival in We Happy Few involves managing mild penalties to health and stamina, though you won't die from neglecting your body's needs. Still, I was able to enjoy the world without having to constantly worry about my next meal. Crafting has also been streamlined to make things like lockpicking a lot less tedious. I especially love the stash feature that allows you to dump supplies in a safe house and still use them to craft no matter where in the world you are. To get around the villages of potentially hostile people, you can try to conform, fight, or use some light sneaking. More often than not, however, I started to find that simply dashing past angry people to the first trash can or patch of tall grass I could find would get the job done. Because of this, the act of conformity was often obsolete, which is a shame considering how central taking your joy is to the narrative presented.
Cheer up, you bastard!
While the bland recycled boulevards get old fast, We Happy Few's moody interiors provided welcome variety and some of its best storytelling moments. Unlike most outdoor areas, NPCs here actually have a purpose, and world-building notes and diaries are placed for a reason. Fighting, sneaking, and light puzzle solving have more meaning when there's not an easy trash can to hide around every corner. These places are where We Happy Few's 3 main character stories are told. Though their paths sometimes cross, they never really intertwine. Arthur Hastings is a mild-mannered man you play as first, and his sad sarcasm and repressed nature gave depth to my actions and decisions.
I've got a sinking feeling.
Sally Boyle is physically the weakest of the 3 characters and must resort to her superior chemistry skills to either debilitate, distract, or defeat opponents, or improve her own abilities.
Well, let's just fire this up. Please don't blow up in the next 30 seconds.
Ollie Starkey relies on brute strength to solve problems where words, and a lack of chemistry knowledge, fail. His personal survival needs include regulating his blood sugar infrequently or sometimes facing hilarious consequences.
On your trolley, you happy wee fuck bumper!
Sally and Ollie's unique quirks, combined with their perks, skills, and flaws, gave enough variation to their stories so that I never found myself solving a problem the same way. Arthur's story alone took me around 25 hours to complete, and that's not factoring in several side quests I skipped. Sally and Ollie's stories aren't as lengthy, and each add about 10 or more hours to complete, not including side quests.
Look, I'm very busy recalculating the brominating reaction so it is non-explosive. Unless you've got a magic formula for synthesizing joy out of bleach, whiskey, and saltpeter, get out!
We Happy Few's focus on story over survival is a good choice, and it's at its best when dropping bombshells of truth that the drug people of Wellington Wells have tried so hard to ignore. Although survival and crafting are fairly manageable, running through randomly generated towns, streets, or abandoned fields unfortunately show that We Happy Few can't hide from the ghost of its own past, no matter how much joy you take. For more on We Happy Few, check out the first 17 minutes and how it looks in the highest and lowest PC settings.